Alrighty, welcome back to Let's Play Bioshock 2. It's nice to hear another entry from Gilbert Alexander again, because we always enjoyed his commentary, right? Anyways, time for the first gather of this new little sister we required here in Dionysus Park. And it's time to get the setup going for it. Now this is going to be the first gather we can do with our full defensive setup with everything I want to get in the game that we can be used for defensive traps. All the defensive trap type weapons and abilities that we can use to set up our defensive perimeter using in the gathers. So just to go over everything one more time, we have trap spears, proximity mines, trap rivets, cyclone traps, turrets, and the security command plasmid. Security command 2 rather allows us to spawn a sentry. And if you had the decoy plasmid, you would use that as well, but I don't really want to use that. And again, you don't have to establish any of this, but I really like to, just because I like the gathers to be as defensive as possible. Honestly, this isn't really that great of a location. I mean, you are kind of bottlenecked in here, but splicers just seem to come out of nowhere in here anyway. I think that should be everything. I didn't deploy any auto turrets yet, or the sentry, but I think it'll be fine. You need to remember to research these spider splicers before I get too carried away. One thing about the not spider splicers, the Houdini splicers, though, that makes these encounters a lot more different from now on, is the fact that now that my cyclone trap went off there and froze that guy, I guess someone's up shattering the drill indirectly, which is pretty cool. But the Houdini splicers can just kind of teleport their way in here. They don't really have to worry about the traps. So that's kind of cheap of them, but you know, not much we can really do about that. I love the fire spreads from one enemy to another as well. Show how far reduce recoil with the machine gun there real quick. That's a relatively new upgrade as well we got in the last video. Okay, so that's the end of that gather. I probably should start editing them out at some point during this level because we have to do so many of them, but we'll see how it goes. And now that I have everything in the game to use for the gather setup, the gathers are the most fun now, but they're also probably the least crucial to show because you don't have to be as creative anymore, I don't think, because you have everything. I hate not being able to recollect the trap spears.
Ooh, marshmallow.
One thing I also noticed that I forgot to go over, when you're in your weapon radial there, selecting your different weapons and everything, you can actually manually use a first aid kit or an Eve hypo in that menu, like Dishonored does. But this game obviously predates Dishonored a little bit, but that's kind of a nice feature. I never really took advantage of that, and I can't imagine I ever really would need to, but it's cool that it's there, and I mean, it's probably a little bit more useful in Dishonored than in this game. One thing that's kind of annoying about switching ammo types with the shotgun is it seems like it takes too long, or sometimes it'll get stuck on one of the alternate ammo types even though you try to change it back. And so you'll still be hitting them with like the phosphorus buck even though it doesn't do anything. Debating doing that gather out there on the deck there in the stands in the seating there of the theater, but I want to do a little bit more loot gathering first because I'm kind of low on first aid kits. Then we left all these consumables out here, just like I deliberately did in the last video. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up this guide. I think this one's a little bit better than the previous one we just did, just because you have the water around you, and if you set up a cyclone trap that's electrified with the electrobolt, then obviously you're gonna electrify the entire water there, and all the enemies that have to walk through it to get to you are gonna be electrified and all that. But obviously the spider splicers and the Houdini splicers are immune to this because they can just either crawl on the ceiling or teleport around, and obviously the leadhead splicers can just shoot you from afar. So it's not foolproof, but definitely something I like to do. Now, the nice thing about the proximity mines in this game, I'm pretty sure this was not the case in the previous game though. You can actually pick up the proximity mines after you have fired them in this game, which I'm pretty sure you could not do in the previous game. I didn't shock myself. There we go, that's how it's done. Wow, nice. There's already a splicer right in front of my frickin' trap spear there. Don't do it, don't do it. Oh. Didn't kill her either. Yeah, you see my point there about the water there. And luckily, just manually using the electrobolt does not actually trigger the. Holy crap! There's a lot of guys. I think we're gonna use the grenade launcher. Another nice demonstration of that. I haven't really used it that much since I got it. Oh, I love the cyclone trap so much in this game. Looks like she's almost done. Ah, you guys are coming back for more, aren't you? There we go. There's something very satisfying about placing traps like that in a game, where it's like you watch the traps activate, and just watching everything happen and watching everything unfold is just a really glorious thing. Of course, sometimes it doesn't work in a lot of games, like when they give you like tripwires and stuff like that to set up. It doesn't really. The gameplay has to be so to where the that feature can actually be used effectively. No, camera, you're not gonna see me. I kind of don't even care about that. The camera is so sparsely placed, though. I really don't even care to hack it, really. But clearly this is a development room for film, or a projector room perhaps, maybe. Yeah, probably a projector room instead, but I don't know where the projector itself is. Either way, it's just a room with a bunch of film reels in it. We can get a new tonic here called Extended Reel, which it might just be an archive. It might just be where they store the film reels. But yeah, the Extended Reel allows us to go longer and get more research with every research attempt we do. I don't particularly care for it, but it's there. I don't care about the research in this game as much as I did in the previous game. In the previous game, I would equip the other tonics to increase the research that I would get, so I can get the upgrades sooner. But we're done with this little sister now, so we can go ahead and move on to the next one. A little bit more looting I want to do before I inevitably harvest her. Then we're gonna get crazy drunk over here. Actually, these are not alcoholic. Actually, those are just regular colas. Seems a bit odd. How peaceful. Mind if I join? This reminds me a lot of when you encountered Sander Cohen in his apartment in the previous game, which is one of my favorite parts. Well, not one of my absolute favorite parts, but you know, I really enjoy anything to do with Sander Cohen, as you guys know. There's a lot of good loot in this area. I want to clear the place out before I get too carried away. This, like I said, this is a really big level, and there's a lot of optional side areas like this. I'm going to hack the door controls here, which is actually not that hard as it looks, even though we're completely wasted. It still worked out okay. And we're only going to get even more wasted because this is a, it's got a ton of alcohol lying around here.
Like anyone, I am flawed and have a fierce genetic
You know what, I don't feel like
bias
hacking this safe, so I'm just
towards
going to throw an auto-hack dart at it.
But each Saturday, I read the other players, and I pick a man who will benefit the most.
You need to start using the rocket spears more often.
By the final hand, I ensure that he takes home my entire stake, and that of the
Or I could just electrocute myself and die.
I know nothing but the feeling of conquest over myself, and the wealth of my competitors is slowly reshuffled according to their needs.
I don't know if vents are particularly scarce in this level or if I'm just in the wrong place to find one, but I haven't seen one lately. But I'm pretty sure the next Big Daddy will not, or the next little sister at least, will not appear until after you've dealt with your current little sister. Also, another thing I think that's changed from the previous game is I don't think there are random Big Daddies that roam around the level in a non-linear fashion looking for little sisters anymore. I think everyone has to be a pair. You can't just find a random Big Daddy without a little sister to be protected by it. Which is kind of a shame, but still. Makes sense the way they designed the game.
Father, this atom you found contains memories from all the bodies here. Normally, only a little sister can see them, but I can show you what Stanley is trying to hide. When Mother was taken away, Stanley was left in charge of Dionysus Park. He spent all her money through these mad parties. It was like he was trying to ruin her.